Hi gang, Dr. Ron Capps, the Niche Prof. Today I'm going to share with you the beginning of the social media Dominos process, and it's a process you can use on Empire Avenue as well as on all of your other social media streams. You first go about by gathering content, and you can gather content by having things sent in to you by email, or you can also use things like Google Reader to subscribe to RSS feeds that you'll gather, and then you go through and take a look at things. Today in this first video I want to take a look at the initial part of the process. So let's go into Google Reader and we'll take a look here at some of the most recent things to come in. Questioning the value of the PR fiasco retrospective. Maybe. If we were doing something with mobile, there's something about the new smartphones. There's a post I just made about computer world reporting Bing is entering a deeper relationship with Facebook for search results. An article about female engineering coming together with photos and so forth in it. Going on down. Context, not content, is king. Hmm. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that one. That's by Social Media Today. Uh, and if we take a look at that, we'll see we have an article there posted by Arnold Waldstein about context, not content, is king. And we'll take a quick look through it. Is not a connection conundrum. How it becomes actionable. Curation filters are neither good nor specific enough to be useful. Some interesting comments throughout here. And since I'm going to be curating the thread, what better one to curate than what we're talking about right here in this particular article. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to highlight the URL, and I'm going to use an Alt-C to copy the URL, and we're going to go on over to a area or a site called Curated By, and I have 16 different things curated by their bundles. If we take a look, we see we can create a news feed, popular bundles. Actually, my social media tools is one of the more popular bundles on the site. But let's go up here and let's take a look to see what bundles I already have going there. And we'll take a look and we'll see that there are 16 of them, one of which is Empire Avenue, one for small businesses, e-learning, and so forth. Well, since we're talking about the social media tools and we're talking about curation, it could go into social media marketing, advertising, and PR. It could also go into social media research. It could go into social media tools or social media dominoes. For the purposes of this video series, I'm going to put it in social media dominoes. So I click on that link and you'll find that there are a lot of other articles that you'll see in here related to that thread. So if anyone ever wanted to come in and see those curated articles and pull them up, all they would have to do would be to enter that thread in and they would be able to go there and see them at any time. They can follow it or subscribe to it so they get things as it's updated. Now I'm going to do Control V to paste the link in to add it to the bundle. And while it's being added to the bundle, you'll see 3C's of social media marketing right below it. And we now have that new article put in here, context, not content is king, from Social Media Today. Now, if I had already put an article in here, if I were to re-enter that URL here again, it would tell me the article already exists. So you don't have to worry about being redundant or putting the same article in there twice. Now, once I do that, what I do is I go over to use a link shortener. Now, I happen to prefer to use my own link shortener on my own domain. I own a domain called lenq.me. And the reason I do that is I want to be able to get the metrics. I want to know where people are coming from. I want to know how often it is being clicked on. I want to know the history of it. And I do have used Bud URL and TinyURL and Bitly, and I still have many accounts out on Bitly. But I'm slightly reluctant to rely upon Bitly because that is a Libya domain, based domain. And given the political unrest in Libya right now, I don't think I want to have all of my information and tracking and metrics tied into a Libyan-based domain right now. Okay, now we take that link that's still on my clipboard and we post it in here under enter the URL. When we've entered the URL, you'll notice we have a lot of gobbledygook here because it was a feed burner feed. So my cursor is already at the end of the line. I go up and I hit my backspace key and I begin erasing. And I erase it all the way back to content is king. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put in an abbreviation. Uh, Context is what we'll call this one. And I will shorten the link by clicking that. And I'll come over here. We can see that we've created a new link by clicking copy there. I've copied that to my clipboard. And I'm going to take that over to my program that I have open called ping.fm, which is the first of the social distribution sites I use. The second video I'll come in and I'll talk to you about social distribution looking at ping.fm. Okay, I paste the new link in there. I want to go back and I want to get the title and the author of the article. We go back here. We now have that. I bring it back over to ping.fm. I put it in here. I want to go back and I want to give proper credit to the author of the article. And when I do this, I can do it one of two ways. Either I can go back and I can put in their name like I just did, or if I happen to know what their Twitter handle is or their at sign for Twitter, I may put that in here so that also creates a Twitter link that they will find quite easily. Now let me go take a look here to see if by any chance uh, we have an account in here for Arnold. We don't, but what I can do is I can take his name, I can highlight it like that, I can go over, I can open Google, and when I've opened Google, I will go in and I will take his name, I will paste it in there, and I will follow it with the word Twitter, and that will tell me that he does go by his name on Twitter. I will click on that to make sure that it is the same. And I see right now that is not a very active Twitter account. In fact, it hasn't been used since February of 2009. Let's go back and see if he might be under anything else. We go on back and we take a look here. And right now I'm not seeing anything there, although there's the article that we just talked about. So let's leave him just by his name over in ping.fm. And let's go in. I highlight the whole thing, and the reason I do that is because after I ping it, I highlight and copy it. It has now been sent. I will then come over and I will post it via quick post through a program called PixelPipe as a status microblog. We go over and we do that, and that will post it there. And then I take the same link and I go over to Hello Text, and each of these is posting to different platforms. And I will go ahead and I will send it there. And then I'm going to come on back over to HootSuite, and I'm going to enter it right up here in HootSuite. I'm going to tell it I eventually want HootSuite to send it at a future date to ping.fm and to Facebook. And we're going to come back over here, and we have a choice now of having an image. And let's go ahead and give Social Media Today credit for it. So I leave that image in there. You could also check no thumbnail. And I want to schedule this for a later date. In this case, I want to schedule it to go out on, well, let's have it go out on Friday the 20th. And I want it to go out late morning, so let's make it 11:50 a.m. I want to be emailed when it's sent. I now tell it OK. And then I go up and have to remember to click schedule or it won't go anywhere. I click schedule, and guess what? It is now scheduled to go out. I'm going to go through one other step in the process right now. I'm going to go over to my Gmail account, I'm going to click on a setup I have in contacts for social postings. I have 4 posting by email accounts in there, one to Amplify, one to Hello Text, and one to Posterous. I also have one in there to Pixelfy, but I'm not going to check that one right now. I click on email, and I don't want to send out my signature line, so I get rid of that. And I go ahead and I post the link in here, and I'm going to be relying on a program called Boomerang. What Boomerang does is it allows you to send out a post at a later date using Gmail. And so I'm going to get rid of the link in the subject line, but I'm going to save the entire link here. I'm going to save this email, and once the save goes away, I'm going to click Send It Later, and I can send it at a specific time in an hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, 2 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, or a random time. Let's send this to go out tomorrow morning. So I click tomorrow morning, and you can see it's processing the message. It's now loading it. And what is going to come back is the message will be sent on Wednesday morning, the 18th, at 9:31 a.m. But you know what? Some people might miss that on either tomorrow or Friday. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to email again using Boomerang for Gmail. I'm going to put the link in here again. I'm going to change the subject line because it has to be a different subject line. So I'm going to say Arnold Wallstein claims, and then we'll take the title of the article. I'll paste it in here. I will save this. And now once it is saved, I will come on over. I will do click send later, and I'll tell it I want to go out in 2 weeks because it's basically an evergreen article. It processes, and now we see that this different message will be broadcast out to Posterous, to Amplify, and to Hello Text in 2 weeks on May 31st at 9:27 a.m. All right, that is the first video. I took you through the whole process, and from beginning to end, the second video we'll go in and look at individual components. That's all for video 1. I hope you got something out of it, and I look forward to helping you in the future.